going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. Today, we'll be taking a look at Neptune in the 4th house and what it's like to have Neptune in your astrological 4th house. So, let's get into it. What is Neptune? Neptune is the planet of spirituality, the planet of dreams, illusions. It shows how we spiritualize our life. It's the place of the indwelling Christ. And it relates to our ideals and so much more. 4th house is the home of our roots, originally ruled by the 4th house. Showcases the relationship with our family, specifically the mom. Our sense of home and belonging in the world. And our physical home and things of that nature. So, first thing you need to know about Neptune in the 4th house is, and as we go on with this series, you'll see Neptune really relates to idealism. And wherever the Neptune is placed, the person has an ideal in that regard. And behind that ideal is the desire for something more spiritual. And in the sense of the 4th house, it's a very particular soul. And the rest of the chart is going to evaluate things, but I know this is a soul that is extremely connected to the divine feminine energy. And at the root of their ideal is a connection with that energy. So naturally, these people come in unconsciously having ideals around the family experience, and with the mother. And the aspects towards this Neptune, the position, the sign, all of that are really going to give context to how this plays out, right? So with that said, it's kind of, you got to really, with like positions like this, actually, what does this soul want? Why is this Neptune in the 4th? And to some extent, the person's spiritual understanding, sense of wonder and truth in the world is going to come from the family, right? Now, the way Neptune works, paradoxically, is like to really experience your ideal or become conscious of it, you have to see its flaws or its imperfections. So you have a particular Neptune in the 4th person who gets thrown immediately into a home situation that is chaotic, that is actually on the lower vibrational side of Neptune. And the more you see that, the higher the idealism within that individual, and more they probably just want peace within the home, right? So sensitive souls, right, that are kind of just looking for their sense of home within this crazy world. And then one gets thrown into a situation where it is the opposite of that, and it is meant for them to acknowledge those imperfections and kind of develop compassion for one's 4th house situation. So mom could be a drug addict, mom could be in a codependent relationship, and all around it's giving you, it's like this soul is getting the shitty end of the stick in the 4th house sense. But for a long time, especially when you're a kid, you're blinded. You're seeing it with those rose-colored glasses, and it's not till you get older you really realize, like, damn, I was neglected, or these things didn't go in my favor, or they contributed to the ways in which I am. So it's a soul. You have those souls who are wounded by family, but ultimately it develops a greater compassion within them, because anything they endure at home is like the outside. It can't be worse once those people you idolize or love the most have wounded you. If you can forgive them, you can forgive anybody. So that's one scenario of Neptune in the 4th. Understanding the ideal through the imperfections of it. This is an overall running theme, but that's just one type of example. So you can have someone who, like I said, is placed in those traumatic situations. And what I've seen here is, those who grew up with Neptune Neptune here in Sag really experience turbulent childhoods in regards, with the 70s and the drug era, yeah, all of that, right? So, alright, so we have our first example of developing Neptunian compassion for one's family, mother, through those more negative qualities of Neptune. Then we have another scenario where this soul gets placed into a spiritualized home. And what you'll find here is that home life, right? The religion, the spiritual beliefs, the moral compass of the family in which you're born into is reflecting your inner dynamic and beliefs in regards to that inner Christ or Neptunian energy. Okay? Now, the rest of how things play out, and normally I've seen with this is Uranus aspect or an aspect to the second house, which really denotes the person still discovering flaws, right, within their religion or their family life that was seen to be ideal. Okay, they discovered the flaws there. So to give an example, it's like you can have someone born to a really wealthy family, a family of politicians, and deep within in the home there's a lot of secrets and things the outside people can't see, right? Okay, so all in all, what this does is it leads the person to have, because Neptune means boundaries, and Neptune here is really looking for boundaries in the sense of a home and sense of a tribe. So this is a very interesting position because so many other factors are going to really show what this Neptune wants. So all in all, more times than not, these people, if they aren't born in port cities near bodies of waters, they eventually find their way there. It is a very spiritual position. People with these, positions, probably just like in the 12th, I'm not as familiar as with the, occult experiences with Neptune and 8, but with the 4th and the 12th, these people have a lot of experiences, particularly within childhood. And what happens when kids have these experiences? They don't know how to verbalize them, okay? So there is a certain intuitive and psychic ability of Moon and Jupiter being aspected here. It really denotes, particularly if it's coming from the 12th or the 8th, can denote spiritual inheritance through ancestors and things of that nature. Okay. Next part of it, obviously, like I said, you want to spiritualize your home. For people with Neptune in the 4th, or even Pisces in the 4th, they naturally spiritualize their home, but doing the spiritual work within your home. So not just making it look cute, not having an altar for the sake of having an altar, but actually using it, spending time with your altar and stuff like that. That's what Neptune, when you could do that, that is your positive escape. You don't seek to partake in escaping things at home. Being home is your escape. Being within your spirituality is the escape. I really like this position, but like I said, it could be a lot for the individual if that Neptune is really conflicted. But through time and through, like I said, boundaries. So emotionally, you're gonna need that. So you want to find that thin line between like compassion and tough love, and knowing when to walk away from particular situations. Okay, really sensitive people here, especially if you have energy in the first. So the need to spiritualize your life and all of that has an effect on that as well. So lots can be said with this, but I'll leave it at that. This is my interpretation of Neptune in the 4th house. Feel free to chime in. Let me know what you think. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, you could do so now. Need a reading? Click the description link, send me an email, and we'll set something up. Till next time, peace.